Month of famine, Karkidagam. People used to sit back at home and never used to go for work. They look after their body and mind. Welcome once again to News Analysis. News Analysis, a weekly magazine on current affairs. To begin with, the main points in a nutshell. David Cameron defends frank comments about Pakistan. A French woman smothers 8 children. US military scrutinizes leaks for risks to Afghans. Baghdad hit by deadly gun and bomb attacks. S.Y. Qureshi took charge as the new election commissioner of India. Nearly 152 people feared killed in an air crash in Pakistan. Now the news in detail. David Cameron defends frank comments about Pakistan. UK Prime Minister David Cameron has defended his comments about Pakistan's record on tracking terrorism as he continued his trip to India. He said it was important to speak frankly, and while Pakistan had made progress, we need them to do more. His comments on Wednesday had led to him being accused of damaging the prospects of regional peace. He is due to meet Indian counterpart Manmohan Singh later on Thursday. The talks in Delhi on the final day of his jobs mission to the country are expected to focus on trade and security. Ahead of the meeting, Mr. Cameron was asked about his warning to India's neighbor Pakistan about promoting the export of terror, and his view it was intolerable. Pakistan should be allowed to look both ways. He told the reporters on Thursday, "I think it's important to speak frankly about the problem as you see them. I think that's what the people expect of their government." To be fair to the Pakistan government, they have made progress in chasing down militants and terrorists in Pakistan that threaten their own country and threaten others. But we need them to do more, and we should work with them to do more because, as I said yesterday, it's not acceptable to have those within Pakistan who are supporting terrorist groups that can do so much damage to their own country and to British people, whether in Afghanistan or back home in Britain. His remarks followed the leaking of US documents on the WikiLeaks website in which Pakistan's Inter-Services Intelligence Agency ISI was accused of secretly helping Afghan insurgency. Pakistan's High Commissioner to the UK Wajid Shamsul Hassan criticized Mr. Cameron for choosing to believe leaks that the officials said lacked both credibility and corroboration. French woman admits smothering 8 newborn babies. A woman in northern France has admitted killing her 8 newborn babies, but said her husband knew nothing about it, the prosecutor in the case has said. Dominique Cartres, 47, has been placed under investigation over the deaths, while her husband has been freed without charge. Mr. Cartres had initially faced investigation for allegedly concealing the bodies and not reporting crimes. Mrs. Cartres faces charges of voluntary homicide of the babies. Being placed under investigation is the first stage of criminal proceedings that can lead to charges. The prosecutor had requested the charges of failing to report the killings and hiding the bodies against Mr. Cartres, but the prosecutor said the investigating magistrate in the case had ruled against this. The remains were found in the village of Villers-Outre near the northern city of Lille on Wednesday. Police with sniffer dogs searched 2 houses in the quiet commuter village after the new owners of a house called them following the discovery of remains in the garden. The house belonged to the parents of the arrested woman. Amit Shah goes to jail. Police arrested Gujarat Co-Home Minister Amit Shah when he appeared in a BJP congregation and he himself courted arrest. He has been wanted by the investigating agency as part of the Sarabuddin Sheikh fake encounter case. He will be handed over to the CBI for further investigation. He is remanded to judicial custody till August 7th. DR Congo boat sinking kills 140 people. A boat carrying passengers and goods has capsized on a river in the Democratic Republic of Congo, killing about 140 people, officials say. The accident happened on the Kasai River, a tributary of the Congo River, in the western province of Bandundu. Police told Reuters news agency the boat had been overloaded. After decades of conflict, DR Congo has a few roads or rail links, leading many people to travel on often overloaded boats. Last November, at least 73 people died when a boat sank on a lake, also in Bandundu province. The latest accident occurred on Wednesday. The boat was carrying passengers and goods from Mushi, about 30 kilometers from Bandundu, the chief town in the province, AFP news agency reports. The boat was badly overloaded and it didn't make the rough waters. Provincial police official Jolly Limango told Reuters news agency. Greek police clash with hauliers amid crippling strike. Lorry drivers protest outside the transport ministry in Athens. Greek police have fired tear gas to disperse hundreds of lorry drivers protesting in Athens. The drivers are refusing to obey an emergency government order for them to end crippling strike. The strike, now in its fourth day, has paralyzed Greece, depriving petrol stations of fuel and prompting tourists to cancel holidays. Bottles were hurled outside the transport ministry as drivers tried to climb the gates and get inside. Reports coming from Athens say the drivers are very angry, demanding compensation for reforms that aim to liberalize the freight sector. The drivers argue that new license charges are unfair, well below the startup fees of up to 300,000 euros that existing operators had to pay. Our correspondent says the police are supposed to hand out papers to the drivers telling them that their lorries are being requisitioned. But many drivers have abandoned their lorries, so the papers cannot be served. There are queues outside the few garages that are still open, and the shortage of supplies mean some workers are being laid off at factories. The Greek government has used a rare emergency order to force the lorry drivers back to work. The measure is usually reserved for times of war or natural disaster.